Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today I'm at Dub Customs because it is time for the GT4 to have a makeover. To start with a little bit of a backstory, I'm going to remind you what the car's been through so far. I got it about 9 months ago, the Sapphire Blue paintwork being the third member of the Blue crew. Took it straight down to the south of France with the other two cars, the 675 LT and the FF, and it was pretty awesome having all the cars there on that road trip. When I got it back, about 2 months old and 2,000 miles or so on the clock, we came out here to Dub Customs where we fitted two things. Firstly, the design you see, the Martini livery. So you've got the stripes up the front of the car, over the roof and onto the rear wing, as well as down the sides. A couple of custom touches like the satin black side vents and end plates. And we also installed the IPE exhaust system, which is pretty awesome. I've done a couple of features with that system. So this was a pretty controversial move, and I always said at the time if I ever wanted something different I would change it, because normally you have Martini on white or on silver, or in the case of the 918 Spider also on matte black. I went for it over the top of the Sapphire Blue, which I personally really quite liked. I think it did something a little bit unique for my car, fitted in very well with the race theme. I've taken this car to the Nürburgring 24 hours since, so it's all been very appropriate for what I've used it for. Now though, jump ahead another 7 months and about 4,000 more miles on the car. It's at about 6,000 now. And I felt it was time for a makeover. That's why we're down here today, because we're going to start off peeling off the Martini design. The IPE exhaust is very much staying in place. Wouldn't change that for anything. And I'm going to start showing you what's going to be coming next. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm about to take this car, along with my other cars, the 675 LT Spider when that gets delivered, and the FF, and Mark's M2, and another vehicle, off on a pretty massive adventure. We're going to be heading to Croatia, maybe Bosnia, through the south of Italy. So I needed to make sure that the car, well, a couple of things. One is protected. A wrap sort of acts a bit like paint protection film in the way that it's going to protect the paint underneath. Two, I didn't want to have the sort of sponsorship decals already on the car, which will trick it, sort of be a bit confusing with the other stickers we're going to be putting on. And three, I wanted to give it a new colour. It's going to be alongside all of my cars, which are now, the colours are going a little bit crazy. The Mini, of course, is British Racing Green. The Focus RS is Nitrous Blue, a very bright blue. The McLaren is Orion Purple. The Ferrari is still the Le Mans Blue. So I've got a dark blue, a light blue, a green and a purple. And cars in the future are also going to be very, very bright. So I wanted to go with something very perhaps in your face and controversial, and I know there are going to be a lot of you guys who don't like this. This is going to be spectacularly Marmite, but this is going to be going Arlon's Electric Lime. I'm going to show you the colour shortly, and it's really, really going to pop. It's a little bit reminiscent of the Cayman R of the previous generation, but I think it's going to work pretty well on the GT4. So to get us started, we're outside in the sunshine, where today's weather, it's about 28 degrees. The sun is doing its thing, naturally sort of softening the stickers and the glue. So we should be able to peel them off pretty easily today. So we'll be able to take all of that off. We're going to keep the GT4 logos on the side. Remember, we did them in light blue to match the striping. But we're going to do them a different colour. But we're going to keep this satin black against the electric lime. And we might do some other small touches as you go around. Maybe do something that brings out the red of the brake calipers as well through the design. But in the future, there are going to be some other stickers on it during an event, so that's all to come. Another quick reminder, I changed the number plate. When you last saw this car here, it had the 15 plate. Well, the 15 is now on the LT Spider, the 14 is on here, the 13 is on the Focus RS, the 10 is on the FF. I also own the 12 and the 16, which I will use on my future cars, whatever comes first, but I've got the Aston Martin Vantage GT8 coming and the Mercedes AMG GTR, so somehow all the plates will do their thing. But now though, let's take the car in. I think, no, like I said, we're going to start out here. We'll start by peeling the stickers back and then we'll get it in. In the meantime, I'm going to go and show you the colour. This is where we're going to wrap it, and we've got the log of vinyl, the Arlon Electric Lime. Like I said, it's quite similar to the colour of the Cayman R, the generation before my GT4, but this is really, really bright. And when you're out in the sunshine, it is going to pop like crazy. I can't wait to see this on the completed car. Now, this is definitely going to be quite a Marmite colour. Some of you are probably going to hate it. Some of you, I'm sure, are going to absolutely love it, but I can't wait to see this. I held a sample of the colour alongside a purple sample for the LT, and the two colours together is just truly sort of bazinga, like in your face crazy. That's going to look so good in the sunshine where I'm going to be taking this car. And so we're going to have to, well, the way you do it is you sort of take this, cut out the different shapes and sizes for the different parts on the car. But this is going to be good. For the minute though, we need to go outside and start de-stickering. Time to start on the spoiler. It's been out in the sunshine for the whole day, and that has just made it really easy. It just pulls straight off. That is the easiest thing ever. That's not an invitation for people to go and start peeling other people's wraps off, but the paint underneath is obviously absolutely perfect and fine. Wrap is basically just protection. It keeps it nice for the whole time that it's on, so there's no problems, and then you can just take it off like this. And if you don't have a nice warm sunny day like we don't normally, you can put the car in an oven. It makes it come off nice and easily too. But yeah, strip down time. Farewell Martini. The blue on blue on blue has now been removed, so the wrap, as you can see, it's the one base colour, and then we put the light blue and the red stripes on top, so it comes off as one very smooth, easy piece. Literally, just like that, it is gone, and the wing is free from free from it. We're going to take these off as well. We're going to put some other stickers and things back on the car afterwards, but for the moment, it's literally that easy. The various different bits just peel off. Off comes the end plate. Just look at how easy that is when it's out in the sunshine. And underneath, done. That was actually spectacularly easy. Comes the roof. Well, not literally the roof, the vinyl on the roof. Done. Last bit.
Taking this bit off.
Off comes the logo. And we actually did this in an interesting way, as you can see. We left the gap on the stripes in the middle, and if you want to see how that went on, we did a video showing how we were measuring it out and stuff as well. It's going to be the last piece, which will need the badge taken out, just to get the vinyl out from behind it. But this has come off spectacularly easily. And I know there are going to be lots of comments saying you should keep it blue. Let's see it in full blue for a moment when this last bit's off, and then I'll explain about that. There we go. Done. All finished. Bonnet protected from stone chips. Now that all of the vinyls are off, I've also taken off the front plate, the 14 plate of course, with the quote from Ferdinand Porsche at the bottom: if one does not fail at times, then one has not challenged himself. So I love those little quotes I have on each of my cars. But we can see the Sapphire Blue now out in the sunshine. Of course, I spec this car from new, so that's the colour I chose, with the platinum wheels and the red calipers. We added the satin black side vents that match with the diffuser and the front splitter as well. But the colour in the sunshine today is just looking brilliant. Sparkling away, you've got some pearlescent, the bright blues coming through on the dark colours. So although it's not going to continue, I guess, visually looking in this colour, this is the colour underneath, exactly how I'd want it. And we're going to wrap it because, like I said, I want to protect it. And I wanted to do something a little bit fun and striking out there. So that's why we're going with the electric lime rather than keeping it blue. I've had it, I guess, the base blue for the 6,000 miles so far. Time for a change. So next up, what we've actually got to do is jet wash the car, go over all of the sort of panel gaps, making sure that there are no sort of dust or dirt particles that are going to get under the vinyl, which will cause problems later on. I'm going to take off the sticky stuff on the back of here and get it ready for that to go on at the end of the wrap. But it's going to be a wash, and then it's going to go inside. And that's why I'm keeping that exhaust. Sounds so good. So the car's now going to head inside. That does sound so nice. So the car's coming through the workshop, past all the other projects currently going on. We've got a Range Rover DB9 up on the ramps, the X6. Over here we've got an Ultima, we've got a Range Rover SVR and the TVR2. Dub are actually starting their own YouTube channel where they're going to put videos of their different projects that they're working on. So like paint protection film on there, wrapping different cars. So that's all going to be up actually. I will pop the link below to Dub Customs YouTube channel. And obviously I've been visiting these guys for years. We've done loads of my cars. The R8, 12C, three-wheeler, the Bentley for Gumball, the RS6 for Gumball, the Martini on the GT4, and now the wrap of the GT4. So I'd recommend going and checking out their channel and seeing some of the stuff they are doing as well. It's a pretty cool setup. But this is now going to be a sort of slightly prepared, parts changed, moved around, ready for wrapping. This is the moment of terror. The car doesn't look quite like a car anymore. It's been a little bit stripped down, so we've lost the rear lights. We've obviously taken the number plate off. The wing is going to come off. If I come around here, we've actually taken off the entire side skirt on the car, which is resting across here. And the reason for doing that is because it means the vent can be removed and we can actually wrap this as one piece. So you don't have to have shut lines on the car. Now with something like this, a German car, it is built spectacularly efficiently and it fits together like a jigsaw. So taking these parts off is not as dramatic as it might look. And they're very easy to put back on completely accurately as well. So it's better to do this and get the right kind of finish with the material. Obviously the wheels are off and the wheel arches. I'm sure somebody is going to comment on the rustiness. That's not actually rust, it's just because they've just been washed. As soon as you brake once, that all comes off and it goes back to normal. So the arches are out. And the headlights too, and the way you do that, you literally just pull a little lever, they pop out, and the headlights pull out forwards. Not much else around the front needs to be done, but it is going to be very hard to work the material around these edges. I always find this stuff quite interesting to come and have a look at. So the car is stripped down in quite a big way, but that's going to make it wrap very nicely. These need to be templated and then the badges removed so they can then be put back on, but that's just being left to be done properly. For the first time on any of my wraps, we're also going to do the door shuts as well, because the blue would not look so good against the lime, so we'll do some wrapping in there as well. But this is the colour, this is what it's going to be. You can see it inside now, slightly different look. The camera doesn't quite see the pearlescent yellow of it as much, I think, as the human eye does, but you'll see that in photos when the car's finished. So I'm going to leave it for now. We will catch up with the car when it's slightly further through the makeover process, and then we'll see it through to the end as well. One more thing I'm going to do though, so I'm going to nip back to London because I want to play with something on the Mini. Back at home, and the last thing on my task list for today is very small and desperately insignificant, but I've got a new gear stick for the Mini. So like I've shown you before, there are a couple of things on the car that I'm actually enjoying changing. I've put a new grille on, I've put some new spotlights and fog lights on the front, and the next thing I wanted to do is the gear stick because it's kind of annoying me. So let me open the car, if I can work out how to do this. Complicated key arrangement, key goes in. I never remember which way to turn it. I got it right. That's a little bit sticky. I might need to work out if there's a way of making it better to do that. But if we jump in here, the gear stick that the car comes with, this one, so it's quite dark. Maybe if I turn on the, there we go. Now it's overkill bright. The normal alloy gear stick, actually I should show you, in position for some reason is upside down. I don't know if you can quite see that. Perhaps with the light on it's a bit hard. But it reads totally wrong. So I wanted to get rid of that because I also find that with this shape it's really uncomfortable to drive with. That design was not so clever. Anyway, bought a new one, a nice little leather one, so I can screw that in and get it to the right place, he says. Are we in? Can't even tell. Nope, we can keep going more. I think we're pretty solidly in place now. And then I've got a Union Jack to go on the top. It's the small little details, right? All done. Light back on. Whoa. That makes me a little bit happier. Union Jack gear lever in place. It's the little details, right? So I can get rid of the old one now. Or probably keep it actually to preserve originality, but not on the car at least. So there's a couple of other things I guess I want to change. Small little details with the Mini. Oh, the light has left me, plunged me into darkness. But changing things even that simple is just fun. So I'm going to try and keep this car as up to date as I can. Focus is parked upstairs. McLaren incoming very soon. Ferrari's away at the moment, but that will be back with me anytime soon as well. So exciting things. I'll have a full garage update in the not too distant future, but we will rejoin Dub later on when the wrapping is significantly further through and the car is looking rather electric lime. In the meantime, I'm off to a couple of other things, some pretty cool stuff, so you're going to want to stay subscribed to check that out. Thanks very much for watching though. I hope you enjoy the upcoming videos. Catch you later. Cheers.